to give them the plans for what you plan to do, and you say, hey, you can't just put a hole there and stick it through.
Yeah.
You've got to do certain things, right?
Yes.
And okay, now the alarm, the fire alarms, smoke alarms.
Yes.
You know, I'll give you a statistic that you'll never forget. In no instance where there's a working smoke alarm in the area has anybody been burned to death in a fire.
With a working smoke detector.
With a working smoke detector. So if you have them in your house, you're never going to burn to death. You may have some fire damage, but you'll get an early warning. You'll get the heck out long before. Jump out the nearest window if you can't think of anything better to do. Caller, good morning. Thank you for waiting. Hello? What happened to our caller?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. What's up?
Good morning. It looks like we've dodged a bullet. However, Wednesday and Thursday looks like we're going to get our own little bullet.
You're talking about the winter storm?
Yeah, I certainly am.
Yeah, it's raging in Buffalo, they tell me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and all through the Midwest. They're shutting down our airports and everything.
Well, yeah, they've shut down the airports, but not because of the snow. It's in Buffalo. It's because they didn't really shut it down, but there's a lot of flights that aren't making it through because they're coming from other places that aren't functioning.
Yeah, well, you know, it's going to shut down the Super Bowl, possibly.
No, can't do that.
That's not true. That's an idle rumor.
Well, it wouldn't have bothered me one way or the other. There's nobody there that I need to be rooting for.
Yeah, my uncle used to call it the Stupid Bowl.
Oh, I may be different.
Hey, turn the TV down.
Mine is way down. Not only way down, but I've got it on mute. So,
okay, it's just the gremlins.
Must be. I do have a question for your guest.
Which one? We got Dave or Ron. Ron Keddie's the guy who does all the training and stuff.
Well, it's for both of them, actually, but
okay,
whoever wants to answer. It's come to my attention, and just by watching parades and stuff like that, the men far outnumber women in who are volunteer fire people.
So do the old men. Go on, answer that. What do you think?
I think I can answer that.
Well, wait.
All right.
Is there a reason for this? And then I have one more thing. The idea that did I misunderstand this? But if you are a volunteer fireman for 5 years or more, they will pay for your college education.
Yeah, we just had a chat about that.
Yeah, actually, to answer that question, actually, if you were to join a fire department and take classes at JCC, get your associate degree at JCC, you could get reimbursed through this our fire program that the advisory board runs. That yes, you could get paid for your college education.
Yeah, you don't have to be in for 5 years to get that either.
No,
you don't have to be in, but you have to give 5 years of support to your local fire department.
You got to commit to it.
Now, this is for JCC, though.
This is just JCC right at the moment, yes.
Which is wonderful. You know, it's a 2-year thing, and it's wonderful because it's a community college, and it's a lot more financially efficient, and it's recognized at Fredonia and your other state colleges throughout New York. Your credits are recognized, so it's not like you're going there for nothing.
Yeah, you can transfer into any of the state universities.
Absolutely.
Using those same credits.
Okay, now my other question was pertaining to, is there a reason why there seem to be so much fewer women than men in the fire department? And going back to the college thing, just briefly, you ought to boost that up and boast about that and everything, because I've lived in my little town where we have a wonderful fire department forever, and I've never heard of this, and I think it'd be a real good selling point for younger people.
It helps.
Right.
Yeah, did you want to answer that?
Well, yes. I'd like to say that this material is available at the schools. At the guidance counselor should have it. It's also available if you call the emergency services office over here in Mayville.
Is your speaker is hitting your mic is hitting something?
Is it?
Yeah, that's why you keep getting all that noise.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
You can call the Office of Emergency Services over here to get that information, or your local fire chief should have that information also.
Any firefighter, for that matter, in your town.
Yes, we put through, and since the 11 years that we've been here, we put through 36, I think, firefighters through this program?
Wow, that's really well. My point is that to get volunteers, sometimes they're not even thinking about things like that. But maybe have a fireman go into the schools once a year or something like that, and try to get younger people interested in joining, because that's where we need it, is to get the younger people in, and use this as a helpful selling point.
Yeah, and if what we're going to also try to do this year is if the schools have any career days, Ron and I are talking about going in there to career days at the schools to
one of the many other things fire departments do.
Oh yeah,
and push that as a selling point. So, okay, and how about the women versus men?
I've decided to answer that question for you.
I'll answer it. Women are no darn good at it. That's what you wanted to hear.
Reed, I hate to say this, but they're probably shutting the TV off right now. So let's.
I knew that's what you wanted to hear.
Let's give the real answer.
I knew that's what you wanted to hear.
If the ladies out there who have been through our classes at the county level, if I had them call right now, hopefully the phones will just light right up. There are a lot of ladies in the fire service right now that I have seen and coming through my classes. In fact, we have several ladies that are actually assistant chief officers of their respective volunteer fire departments. So they have been in the fire department for quite a while and have a lot of training and well respected within their departments to achieve that level. So I do believe, male or female, just have them, if you know young ladies that would like to be in the fire service, have them get an application for their local fire department and submit it. And before you know it, they'll be members of that department. They'll be attending our fire program and possibly getting college degrees through JCC.
Yeah.
We got our fingers crossed, and hopefully that's what this program is going to generate for us.
And of course, caller, you know I was kidding. The reason
Yes, I do.
the real reason you don't have them is they just don't volunteer. We go on a volunteer basis. If you step up and say, I want to be a firefighter, we take you in most cases, and we just don't get the volunteers because I don't think it appeals as much to the distaff side as it does to the men. That's apparently the difference.
And
the bells and whistles, you know.
I think they're there. I think they are there now.
We have, incidentally, before I finish, caller, 10% of the firefighters in Chautauqua County roughly are women, as it is now.
Right.
I'm not sure about the
Pretty
percentage,
close.
but
Between 5 and 10%.
That percentage is actually going up. I've had some seat support classes where actually the men were outnumbered by the women in the class.
They're coming into the field like the lawyers, you know.
Go
ahead.
I thought maybe it had something to do with 9 times out of 10 the child care keeper is at home with the children is the woman. Although that's changing too. But
no, you're right. That's part of it.
You know, when the whistle goes off and you're watching a 2-year-old, you can't just run out of the house and go down to the fire station. Somebody's got to watch that baby.
Yeah, quite correct. Okay, well, thank you, caller. I got some gifts for you. Everybody who calls in today is going to get a Big Mac and 2 $5 off, and those are $5 coupons. Don't throw them away just because they're small. To the Lakeview, which is a great little place, and incidentally, have another. They have the docks there too. It serves great fish.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, caller.
Thanks for
again.
calling.
Bye-bye.
And you're off and running. We have another caller.
Hi, Ron.
Well, good morning. There you go.
Oh, hello. Who's there?
Hi, Reed.
Don't tell your name. Nobody's allowed to give your name on television.
Okay. Why do new firemen have to have an arson checkout?
Yeah, why?
New York State requires that.
Really?
If you've had a arson conviction in the past, no matter when, you are not allowed to be a volunteer firefighter in New York State. That's the law.
Why, are they firebugs?
We don't want to have that happen. It has happened in the past, and it's not good for our service.
I'll tell you, one with that. We had I was walking at 2 in the morning. I take a late evening stroll often, and I smelled smoke. And I said, gee, that's funny. And I walked up the corner of the block, and I said, wait a minute now. If I'm smelling smoke, there's something going on here. And I thought I'd heard a little sound. So I back up and down by where the hardware store was on Main Street. I saw smoke coming up under the eaves, out of the building. I said, my God, there's fire. And I had joined the fire department the week before. I ran up to the corner for the to pull the handle. It's no longer there. They don't have the alarms on the street they used to have. Right. So I ran over to the station, and I thought to myself, should I turn this in? You know, here I am, a beginning firefighter, and a number of fire bugs joined the fire department so they could be involved in fires, which is why they do the fire check. It's not because firemen are necessarily firebugs, but firebugs ought to be firemen. And so I pulled the crank outside, and we got